station. Don't forget, you can watch us too. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. Here's a good headline for you. The Nissan Frontier has been named the coolest thing made in Mississippi. It won the 2025 Mississippi Makers Challenge, which was hosted by the Mississippi Manufacturers Association. Joining us today is Mr. Orlando, the Director of Quality. He also serves on the board of the MMA to tell us a little bit more. Hey, Mr. Orlando.
Hello, how are you doing?
I am doing well today. Well, I think this is cool, pun in the name, coolest thing made in Mississippi. How did the Nissan Frontier find itself with that label?
Well, this is the fourth year of the Mississippi Makers Challenge, and it's, as you said, it's hosted by the Mississippi Manufacturers Association. This contest is an opportunity to celebrate the workforce in Mississippi and rally around the amazing products that are built in the state. This year's competition received 70 nominations from different Mississippi manufacturers. The great thing was it's highlighting the diversity in the state's manufacturing sector. The Frontier did advance through 4 competitive rounds of public voting and eventually claimed the top spot with more than 41% of the vote in the final round.
That's kind of cool. What were some of the other, were they all like vehicles, Orlando, that got nominated for it? Or in terms of manufacturing, what would be some of the other things that maybe the Frontier was going up against?
You had a diesel engine by PACCAR. We had some items from Lockheed Martin, a location in Meridian. And there was a walk-in freezer, interesting enough, that's manufactured right here in the state.
Well, I think this is good for several reasons. Number one, it just gives a platform to talk about these things that are manufactured in our state, as you mentioned, Orlando. I didn't know some of those. I'm sure the rest of the list would be interesting to see as well. Why is it so important to maybe just continue to highlight them, even if it's in a unique way as having a little award that recognizes them or pits them up against each other?
Manufacturing is very key to Mississippi's economy. And MMA has served, or Mississippi Manufacturers Association has served as a strong advocate for all of us. With John McKee and the team, they work very diligently with state community colleges, universities, and other agencies to help provide tools that are necessary for today's workforce. And so when we find this to be important for us to prepare for our next generation of Nissan employees and the growing, and actually populating and growing that workforce for tomorrow's factories of the future.
What do you think stood out about the Frontier? Can't imagine how the Frontier beat out a walk-in cooler. But what made the Frontier you think stand out for it to make it through all rounds and get almost half the votes?
Yeah, so Frontier has been part of Nissan for a very long time. It transferred to Canton back in 2012. And so, what we found in the most recent model that, it's just very strong performance, there's value and the quality of this truck in this specific market. And so I'm very proud to work alongside many of the people here that has made it great. But in the 2025 Nissan Frontier, it has some distinct design, impressive capability, and thoughtful convenience features. For instance, it has a new rugged look and increased towing capacity up to 7,100 pounds. And the pricing so far has been right at just over $32,000.
That is pretty impressive. As Director of Quality, I guess you make sure that, or hope that everything that comes through is up to all the T's are crossed and I's are sort of dotted. Do you think that also helped with it shining through there at the end? It's just the quality that's put into the manufacturing?
Yeah, that absolutely helps. We do everything in this plant from stamping through the final testing of the vehicle. So there's a lot of steps taken throughout our process to ensure that we have healthy quality of it. And so, we do pride ourselves in taking that very seriously because we recognize the importance of people making this investment.
Orlando, you probably got some kiddos listening that just got picked up in car outer line. You definitely got the eyes and ears of maybe parents who have kids who are looking at what the next phase of their education look like after high school. You talked about the next workforce in terms of engineering or manufacturing. Talk about just maybe how important it is for students, who are thinking about that next road to think about careers that could lead them to some of the manufacturing jobs at Nissan or in any of the finalists there that are being made here in Mississippi?
Yeah, so we recently had an innovation conference that brought in a lot of potential advancements in technology. And so, in many cases, people see manufacturing not so much as a clean type of activity. But as we're pursuing EVs, we recognize that there's much more high tech coming forth, utilizing a lot more robotics, utilizing a lot more data analytics, things that help to advance our pursuit of excellence. So we highly encourage, because we have partnerships with many of the school systems in the state, and we encourage them to bring students through. So we have a lot of tours with kids and students to understand what Nissan and manufacturing automobiles looks like. Because many pass by our plant, they may not understand that as they're just passing by. But the beauty of what we have available to us is sharing with them. And so you can kind of see the light bulb come about of opportunities that they didn't think existed. So it's not just a lot of industrial pieces that look like they're difficult to execute, but we are able to connect them and explain to them how critical it is for all these particular elements, from finance through engineering, through maintenance, and as well as quality, how important they are and how they come together. So we strongly believe that partnership and those pieces help to formulate some consideration for us as a part of the future.
What grades get to come and do the tours, Orlando? Because that sounds fun. I've got a 7th grader, and I guarantee you her mind would be blown to see like how cars are made these days and make it to a car lot.
Yeah, so the tours are available for students age 10 and up, and so we have access to the plant that brings them in and takes them on a trolley tour through our facility.
How many Frontier, do y'all do it by day, Orlando, make Frontier, or is it like by year, like in terms of how many you're producing, or how long? So I guess my question would be twofold. One, how long does it take to make a Frontier there at Nissan? And number two, how many are y'all putting out in whatever way that y'all measure it?
Yeah, so we construct and build about 150 Frontier per shift, so it's about 300 total per day. And so the time frame in which to construct a unit from start to finish is roughly about 8 hours. That's the steels and the stampings through our body shop, which assembles and welds all the metal panels together and the particular closures like hoods and doors. And then they travel through our paint shop, which applies several different protective coats for anti-corrosion protection, as well as a top coat. And we also apply that clear coat that you see, that very bright, shiny surface. And then it travels through a trim shop, we refer to it as. And this is where we install all the components, such as the headliner, the seats. We also construct a chassis on the frame. We call it a chassis, but it's the frame system with the suspension parts and then tires. And then it goes through, from there, all of the fluid fills and eventually travels through our quality evaluation system.
How do you get that new car smell in there, Orlando?
So, there's actually a science to that. We actually have members of our design and marketing teams, that actually construct and decide the various smells that each model will contain. It was quite interesting to me as well, after being in the industry for nearly 30 years, to find that we have members on our teams that actually sit and specify which models and how they're going to smell when they arrive at the dealership.
Who knew? Well, look what I'm doing with my life. We should have done that, Orlando. We should have been new car smellers and critiquing. I think that would be a really cool job. I think everything that's going on there is neat. I can see why you guys were named the coolest thing made in Mississippi. That's the Nissan Frontier. If people want more information on that, or maybe just what you guys are doing, the Mississippi Manufacturers Association, how can they learn more?
Well, they can reach out to Nissan, various Nissan websites. We have a presence on Facebook, We have various other venues and places that we attend, and we're typically involved in so many different community activities that if they see any of the members on our team, they can inquire of ways of learning about us. But from the website perspective, you can pursue further information as the Nissan Manufacturing or NissanMFG.com.
All righty, Orlando, I appreciate your time. Congratulations to you guys and the whole team there at Nissan, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
All righty, you guys stick with us. We got more for you up next.